Okay, Nigeria have beaten South Korea 2-0 at the Women's World Cup. The match took place in Grenoble. Beautiful stadium. It is an absolutely stunning stadium with a stunning backdrop of the Alps. I wish more stadiums had backdrops like that. It's a beautiful stadium, and the pitch was perfect. The conditions were perfect. The game itself, Korea had over 60% of the possession, created most of the chances, passed the ball all day long, and they've lost 2-0. And this is a danger that happens with teams that have a lot of possession and don't do anything with it. You've got to do something with the ball, and they didn't do enough with the ball. They created a few chances, but they weren't the most clear-cut, and they had a goal chalked off for offside, rightly so, and the VAR worked, but again, we'll discuss the VAR later on. The own goal by Kim Do-young is a long ball, and while there is a Nigerian centre forward there is no need for the defender to make the play. And in the end, if that was a centre forward scoring that, that's a brilliant finish around the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper started to come out. There's a lack of communication. It's a long ball, does the defence. They're obviously clearly concerned about the Nigerian pace, and it's in the back of the net. The thing is, this is a danger you get with complacency in possession. They had a lot of possession and they were playing at a tempo. They weren't going through the gears. They were passing and moving as you are, but not creating necessarily enough chances at an end product, and they were undone by a long ball. And everyone says, oh, the long ball is anti-football. It worked in this case because it's created a goal. That happened on 29 minutes. After that, the Nigerians had a second wind because they were on the back foot for the most of the first half, and they started creating a couple of chances. They had suddenly a spring in their step and some energy that wasn't there before. It wasn't until last the Koreans calmed down and got the ball again and retained possession, and the balance was restored in a sense, but they're now 1-0 down. And then half-time comes, and then as the game wore on, the Nigerians, looked dangerous on the counter-attack because the Koreans have to come out and play. And the Koreans create a lot more chances in the second half. Absolutely. They created a lot of chances, forced the goalkeeper into some work. There was a goal ruled off for offside, correctly so, but again, the VAR took a little bit too long to come to the correct decision on that one. They need the FIFA needs to look at the VAR and make sure the VAR is being implemented and used correctly and efficiently, because they need to speed up the process. Right decision was got to in the end, but the process takes a long time and it disrupts the flow of the game. That's my view on the VAR. We're moving on. Oshuola's counter-attack goal is brilliant. Wouldn't be out of place in the men's game. Koreans cough up the ball midfield. Player picks up the ball. Oshuola points where she wants the ball. She actually points to her teammate where the ball needs to be passed. It's a brilliant pass. She uses her pace and power to round the defender and the goalkeeper. And from that angle, and you have to see this yourselves to believe, how that ball ends up in the back of the net is... I don't know how she's finished that, but it is an ingenious finish on a very, very tight angle, squeezes inside the post. That wouldn't look out of place in the men's game with some of the Nigerian greats of the 90s playing at the Men's World Cup, like JJ Okocha and Kanu. It really wouldn't look out of place. That was a absolutely exquisite finish. And anyone who says the women's game lacks quality and lacks that class level, clearly they have to see that goal and the finish. It's a brilliant finish. Now, the South Koreans still created chances, but it's too little too late. They started pressing more, but it was too little too late. And then the game started to meander away from them. The reason why they lost is they didn't have that cutting edge. They had a lot of the ball, but they didn't really up the tempo with the ball. A lot of possession, nothing, no end product. And I say this about the men's game a lot, and I'm now starting to say about the women's game. It's all well and good having the ball and having 60, 65, 70% possession, but as we've seen in the men's game, teams can win with less than 35% possession. Just look at Leicester City back in 2016 in the Premier League. They played a counter-attack style and it worked. The World Cup last year in the men's game, counter-attack style worked in 90% of the games played. A lot of teams were having less than 40% possession and were coming away with wins. The counter-attack, as long as it's done at pace and effectively, will work. If you have 60% of possession, you have to be passing and moving at pace, be able to slow and speed up the game at will, and the Koreans just couldn't do that. They're not out of the World Cup yet. It's going to be a tall order for them to get the result needed to progress as a third place team. Nigeria have given themselves a chance of getting out of the group. we'll have to see like what happens in the other games in the group and other games in other groups to see who the best third place teams are. But that's the first game of the day out the way. Now we've got some breaking transfer news in the English Premier League to discuss, and I will be starting to prep the whiteboard later on for the London Broncos video at some point later tonight. So that's going to be taking a bit of research. We're going to do a history video on the London Broncos because I've been bugged by some people to do some non-Women's World Cup videos. So a non-Women's World Cup video is coming. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Place your comments below, and I will have some more videos for you very, very soon.